All right, so here we're going to look at the pictures in the questions below and then tell me if they're examples of conduction, convection, or radiation. The first picture here is a toaster. Is this an example of conduction, convection, or radiation? So, an answer to this question is radiation. And the reason for that is if you've ever looked inside a toaster, there's wires that kind of hold the toast. But the elements that heat up inside a toaster actually never come in contact with the bread itself. So radiation is the reason that the toast gets hot and toasty. It's not direct contact, so radiation is your answer here. Number 6, this is a picture of a curling iron. Is this an example of conduction, convection, or radiation? Well, this one is conduction, and it's conduction because the heat from the curling iron actually has to touch a person's hair to curl it. This is direct contact and a great example of conduction. The next one we have is a barbecue grill. Is this an example of convection, conduction, or radiation? A barbecue grill is a great example of radiation. So the same as the toaster, the meat on a grill does not directly touch the flames in a barbecue grill, or is not supposed to anyway. That's kind of the goal. Like you want the heat, but not the flames to touch it. So it's just held close to them, the meat is. Radiation is the reason that meat is cooked on a grill. The next one is a picture of circular currents in a pot of boiling water on a stove. Is this an example of convection, conduction, or radiation? This one is convection. The answer is because the heat from the flames at the bottom of the pot cause circular movements in the water of the pot, and that is convection. We've got circular movement in liquid or air, we have convection. This picture of a campfire. Is this an example of conduction, convection, or radiation? This one is radiation. So the heat from the campfire reaches us even if we don't touch the flames. You do not have to feel a campfire to feel the heat from it. Here we've got a space heater. Is this an example of conduction, convection, or radiation? The answer here is radiation as well. So the heat from a heater moves out from the heater into the room. You can feel this heat if you hold your hands out towards the heater, but you don't have to touch the heater to feel the heat. You just have to be close enough to it. That is a great example of radiation. Here we have a picture with eggs and bacon frying in a frying pan. Now, which is this an example of? Conduction, convection, or radiation? This one is conduction. The answer is conduction because the eggs and bacon are directly touching the hot pan. That's why that food is being cooked, is because it's in direct contact there. Direct contact, it's a great example of conduction. Number 12, we've got a person laying out in the sun. Is this an example of conduction, convection, or radiation? If you said radiation, you are correct. The answer is radiation because the heat from the sun reaches us from many, many miles away out in space. Now, we don't have to go out into space and touch the sun to get a sunburn or to feel the heat from the sun. And that is radiation because we don't need direct contact. Here we've got a picture of an iron. Is this an example of conduction, convection, or radiation? If you said conduction, you're exactly right. The heat from the iron touches the clothes to get wrinkles out. That is direct contact, and that's a great example of conduction. Here we have a hot air balloon, one of my favorite examples of a heat transfer, okay? So, what is the hot air balloon? An example of conduction, convection, or radiation? If you said convection, you are exactly right. The heat from the flame at the bottom of the balloon causes circular movements in the air above the balloon. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so that is it for this assignment. Y'all did great. Remember, most of my assignments, unless it's a quiz or something along those lines, is going to have a video just like this at the end. And I want you to know that there's no excuse for you to earn a grade that's less than 100 on an assignment with a video with all the answers in it. They're right there. All you got to do is watch the video, okay? All right, y'all are amazing. Have a wonderful day.